Today is Monday, March 29th, 2010, and I am here to take Father God's message, and he is saying, we are entering, as you know, a time of great change upon your planet. Change that, at this moment, you could say almost no one on your planet is aware of. There are many who are talking about 2012 and what that alignment at the time of the December solstice means. And as some of you know, there have been pointers to it not only in the Mayan calendar but indeed in the stories and histories of many of the original peoples. But really there is very little awareness of it upon your planet, and those who have been speaking about it by and large do not truly understand what it means. Some are aware that it has a spiritual, you could say, significance. Some are aware that it represents on some level, in some way, a shift in consciousness. But really there are very few at this moment who truly understand what it means. There is nowhere recorded that the human body will go from having some 2 strands of DNA to over 2,000. That's right, I said over 2,000. And of course there are no records which show that indeed prior to the fall in Atlantis, that is what the human body had. Science has long wondered why it is that most of the DNA in the human body is not utilized in the way that the DNA of the 2 strands is used, the so-called mitochondrial DNA, which represents something like 98% of the DNA which is present. Why is this? Well, the answer lies in what I've just told you. When there are these over 2,000 strands present, whilst some of that is in the physical, some of it is also in the etheric, because it opens up connections, communication, you could say, and great abilities that at this moment you are completely unaware of. And so what will be established is, as I said, the reconnection of these missing DNA strands. And at this moment, humanity cannot imagine what a change that represents. I just ask you to reflect on that possibility. Think of the capability of a human being with 2 strands. Think of the incredible things that you can do. And now reflect on what that might mean if you take that and multiply it by 1,000. What might be possible? What kind of abilities might open up as a result of this? Some have begun to be aware that light responds to the strands of DNA. In other words, it is like a template that light responds to. Others have noticed that when the body is under stress, the DNA strand coils more tightly, and when the human being is relaxed, it extends. And so, even with these 2 strands, there is evidence that the DNA is much more than just a template to reproduce life as you see it. It is much, much more than that. And so I mentioned this to you so you begin to get some sense of the shift which is coming. And for those who wish to control humanity, it is no surprise that they want you to ignore what is coming, and also to ignore the need to prepare. There are so many so-called spiritual sources, so-called channels upon your planet, who are reportedly bringing forth messages from beings of the light that mention ascension and various other things related to it, but give you these steady as she goes messages. Everything will be okay. Everything is all love and light. All will be well. You'll be taken care of, or perhaps some extraterrestrial beings will turn up in spacecraft and save you all. It, my friends, is so much nonsense, and it is all there to keep you complacent, to keep you from recognizing the work that needs to be done. And that is the work that I have mentioned before. Those 3 simple steps. Acknowledge your Creator, clear your karmic past, rejuvenate the physical body. I say simple because when you experience those activated commands, the body is already programmed to respond to those cues. There are no accidents in all of this. Your body is designed for what is about to happen. Your body is expecting it. Not only that, you came into this lifetime knowing that ascension would occur whilst you were here. You just haven't remembered. And so I want you to get some sense of the scale of this shift. All I would say to you is you cannot imagine it, and you do need to prepare. And so it is.